Hey everyone, we'll cover the starting path for Season 74. And even though we designed the season, doesn't mean that for sure we know this is going to be the best path. Still using knowledge of game mechanics and past seasons to figure what might be good. But we'll go ahead, start with an unlock order, because it's really important on what you get first compared to someone else, and then figure out how you should upgrade stuff, and that'll be our path. But to start off, we have starting troops as mechs at 2 ER, and you got a couple options, Rainmakers on the top, Zooks on the bottom. But when you look at the 2 ER deck layout, which we did cover in the sneak peek, the right ramp right there, you can still drop ground troops, but at some point they can't move on to rest of the base. Still not a bad spot to drop, let's say, Rainmakers, which can reach across that right side. But because we start out with Speed Serum, just using Zookas might be the fastest. Drop them on the left side and let them go. So if you are going to be 2 ER for a while, or even further on, I think Zookas are a good way to start with. And like we said, that combo of Zookas and Speed Serum makes them super fast, with not too many splash defenses right now. We got Shock Launchers and Shock Mines, which might slow you down, but they don't do a lot of damage. And for that reason, we're going to pick up Zookas right away, start upgrading them, and then move on to that Landing Craft boost, and then Shock Mines. Again, to those who never played with a Landing Craft boost, it's just going to make our big troops like mechs, Rainmakers, or later on Scorchers, Lasertrons, Current Cannons, all have 2 per boat. There's no Choppas this season, so we're not going to have to worry about that, but having 16 of one troop instead of 8 makes a huge difference. Even though that's the case, we're not really going to get Rainmakers right away because again, when there's not too many buildings, Zookas might be enough to get through. Not to mention that early on, we don't have too much GBE, so it'll take a while to build up enough to even land all those big troops. And it's for those reasons that we're just going to go straight to 3 ER. Don't really need Flare at 2 or even Rainmaker's troop damage. Because Speed Serum is so strong, once Zookas get to an ER, you can just serum them up and they deal a lot of damage. And also looking at 3 ER, you can see it's a much bigger deck layout. Still the ramp on the right side, which you can't really get far with things like Zooks or mechs, but maybe doing like a mech Zooka or even all Zooka hit from the left side, clearing the whole base. And after 3 ER, it might be a good time to get Flare, so even using troops with Speed Serum, you can pin down ERs and just go straight after them. Right after Flare, you can make your way alongside 3 ER. First ability we get is Crystal Shield, which might be pretty strong, especially against mortars right after. Mortars take a long time to shoot, even with shock launchers, so Shield does a good job at keeping Zooks alive or even Rainmakers against boom cannons. All these defenses take a long time to shoot, so Shield is almost perfect for keeping them alive. And still getting other tech along that bottom side, picking up mortars, a normal GBE, and then cannons. And ideally, we would go straight to 4 ER, but that choice node is a troop boost which, if you don't get one of those troops, you can't even go past it. So between Lasertrons, Scorchers, and Rainmakers, only one is really cheap on keys, and that's Rainmakers. So that's why at this point, you can not only pick up Rainmakers, but then go ahead and get that troop boost, and picking those guys up. Now Rainmakers might be pretty fun because, well, they have the longest range in the game, even outranging boom cannons. And if you upgrade them, you can land them on the ramp by themselves and maybe reach an engine really far away. Which means at this point, having both Zookas and Rainmakers gives you full options for what you want to do. Once you do get the Rainmakers and troop boost, you probably want to go 4 ER, because even looking at the deck layout, it is a lot bigger than 3 ER, and that one ramp where you can drop troops but they can't fully go across is now on the left side. So still maybe some creative hits where you can drop Rainmakers or something on the left side, kill a few buildings, maybe engine rooms, and drop other troops on the right. Either way, it does seem a bit longer to get to, and one more engine, so 4 ER should be a little better than 3. With the tech right after 4 ER, not being insanely strong, just sniper towers, shock bombs, so at this point it might be good to get some strong boosts. Like first we can pick up that 60% GBE back in 2 ER, especially in a season where you have Speed Serum right away, and troops that need a lot of GBE, like Rainmakers and mechs. Having more GBE is always a good thing. And not only that, but we have no troop damage at this point, so might as well pick that up. Because you have more buildings at this point and engine rooms have more health, even a little troop damage can speed up quite a bit. Once you do get that 60 GBE and troop damage, you can make your way to the next big troop, Critter Cannons. And if you've never played with Critter Cannons plus Speed Serum, I think we had it in the main island maybe a few times, but as soon as you speed them up, they shoot like a million critters a second. Like you look away for just a moment and you got critters everywhere. Which also might be a great troop for no instant training. As long as you keep the actual Critter Cannons alive, you can spawn and lose all the critters you want. They're not really going to affect your whole loadout. Not to mention that they can clear mines too, so less worried about shock mines, even normal mines once they come out. And it's technically infinite how many critters you spawn. So as long as you can keep the main troops alive, all that matters is getting a fast time. And once we do get Critter Cannons, there was a few options like some multi-nodes back in 3 ER, but maybe a more defensive unlock. So moving to both rocket launchers and building health might seem pretty good. You have rocket launchers against those critters and even Zookas, and building health is a really strong boost in any season, so it might be the next best steps. Now some seasons, it's more clear right now what to unlock, like we can go towards 5 ER, go for mines, maybe even pick up a hero, but we're not really sure what's going to be best. This is a season we've never had before. No bombers, seekers, any choppas. So doing a meta with Critter Cannons and Rainmakers and Serum, we don't really know what to expect. So maybe it could be that mines are super strong against critters, or you want to get brick to speed everyone up. Or it could be defense doesn't really matter and just go towards 5 ER. The good news is, we don't have to know now. Once the season starts for 1 or 2 days, we can see how the attacks are, how we're defending, and just decide from there. But with the unlock order, we can move on to the upgrade order too. But before that, if you're going to buy anything in the shop, maybe instant training or diamonds or the boom pass, would appreciate using a creator code. And if you want to support this channel, you can use code Stoneheart. But now on to the upgrade order. We will be streaming and doing videos on an account starting from rank 1. So that's what you'll really see here. So in the beginning, you want to upgrade landing crafts and your main troop, Zookas in this case. And even quickly onto rank 2, maxing those Zookas early, so not only do you get the most damage, but most reserves too. We will be trying this account with no instant training, so it might matter a bit. And as you keep going to rank 3, shock mines are great, slowing down your troops, both Rainmakers and Zookas. And then once you go to rank 4, upgrading boom cannons a bit, just for some other buildings on deck. And rank 5, we really want to upgrade our gunboat, especially when we're starting with speed serum. The more serums you can throw, faster the hit should be. As you go to rank 6, you can start upgrading the other big defense, shock launchers. Because other than shock mines, shock launchers is your main way to slow everyone down. Rank 7, you can unlock flare, upgrade it just a bit. And once you get to rank 8, you can upgrade shock launchers one more time to get that second building. And then rank 9 not only gets you mortars, but you can upgrade them to level 4, get 4 mortars on deck. And then rank 10, you can finally max landing crafts, still using Zookas probably for the most part. Now when we start an account from rank 1, if you play it right, the 4 starting chests you have, you can always save until you hit rank 11. Because you get a few more keys for every chest, and sometimes that makes a big difference. So what you see here is not only rank 11, but also adding 4 iron chests. And here you can unlock a few things, getting GBE, cannons, Rainmakers, the Rainmaker boost. And because this rank 1 account is gonna get 4 ER and 60 GBE in the same chest, we'll just get the 60 GBE right now. Upgrade wise, getting cannons up there for more buildings, also upgrading GBE because again we're using serum so much. And also of all the defenses we're gonna max out first, we're gonna do shock launchers. They're the one defense that actually makes a big difference, because if they stun your Zookas or any troop, you can stall them for a little bit longer, and it does more damage where 2 max shock launchers have just enough damage to kill Zookas. And the one last upgrade we're gonna do is Crystal Shield. The first 2 levels aren't that expensive, it's really the last few, but every time you upgrade Shield, you get 50 extra HP. So it could be the difference between maybe 1 extra shock launcher shot, so we'll do 1 level right here. And after that spending spree, we can move on to rank 12. Rainmakers might start coming in handy, so get those upgraded. And even onto rank 13, maxing out those Rainmakers. At this point, we do want to save some tokens for troop damage, so rank 14 doesn't really get us any upgrades. But once you hit rank 15, get that troop damage, you can get that all the way to level 4. And to be safe, maybe you don't want to max out all the defenses, just in case you want to save for, let's say max rockets are huge, or even upgrading Rudy, which is pretty expensive. Once the season starts, I think we'll know pretty early what to upgrade after that. And if you want a full chart with everything, we can put that up right there. Again, it's really just a unlock and upgrade order, starting all the way from rank 1. If you start higher, you can kind of go up to the level you do start at, and hopefully it should last pretty good for 1 or 2 days in the season. And let me know what you think of the season. Of course, because we designed it, we're hoping it's a fun one, and we'll see how it goes. We'll be streaming the start with a few videos, so make sure to check that out. But that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.